Hey, what are you doing?
What? We're gonna have to test the new gas detector.
That's not how that works.
It'll work. Well, 2024 is off to a record-breaking start. RVers all over the country are seeing weather that they're just not prepared for.
Yep.
This Arctic front has got people scrambling and trying to figure out what to do next. So we're going to give you some tips and tricks for RV safety during the winter and helping you stay warm along the way. Staying warm in the RV can be very challenging if you're not prepared for it.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that you want to do when you're winter camping, you know, basic stuff. Make sure you have full propane tanks.
Yes, that's very important.
You know, test fire your heater before you get going. Make sure that your sail switch is working and everything.
Yes.
That way you don't get any surprises while you're out camping.
Yeah.
Along with preparing, one thing that we never did, it took us a year to do this while we were camping, cycle your water pump.
Yes.
Because when we were winter camping a few years back, the temperature dropped dramatically and the park shut off the water. So they warned us ahead of time. We filled up our water tank, and that was the first time we used our pump. Luckily, it was good.
Yes.
So, also, don't make the rookie mistake that I did.
He left it outside.
I left the water hose outside, and the next morning, I had a frozen icicle hose.
So don't do what he did, because no.
Don't do that. So let's talk about different ways to heat your RV. What's your favorite one?
Our fireplace. And I've mentioned in other videos, I never thought that being, you know, from Texas, camping mostly in Texas, that I would ever want a fireplace within our RV. I have come to love that thing, and if it's not below freezing, we go ahead and just use the fireplace because it heats up our entire rig, and we don't have to kick on the furnace. Now, if it's going to be below freezing, we definitely kick on the furnace. That'll help keep the pipes warm and stuff like that.
Obviously, the main one is going to be your propane furnace.
Yes, and ours doesn't have to be on, but for like 2 minutes, and we're dying in here. It's so hot. So, I mean, it does really well, but we don't have to leave it on for long, so that's something. Yep.
And with your furnace, though, one thing that you have to make sure that you're thinking about is condensation.
Yes, yeah. Make sure you have a dehumidifier or a couple different dehumidifiers, be it the little damp rid pouches that you hang up, the little tubs, or a little electronic plug-in dehumidifier. We have all of the above. And it really does help. You'd be surprised how much moisture you're pulling out of the air, especially when you're using propane a lot. That puts so much moisture in the air, and you have to be really cautious about that. And we still get a little condensation in our bathroom on the window that faces the back of the RV. We get a little condensation on there.
Windows. That brings up a good idea. What do we put on the windows to help keep the warmth in?
The same thing we put on our windows for the summertime to keep the heat out and the cool in is Reflectix. Now, we don't use Reflectix brand. We didn't get a big roll of it, you know, because it's kind of expensive. We went to the dollar store and bought a whole bunch of plain window auto shades that, you know, you put in the front window of your car. And we just kind of cut and spliced them together and made... See if you can see this. Oh, I pulled it apart.
So we cut
Apparently I need to repair this when it came apart, but we cut these to fit this big window behind us and the little window right here, and that's all we really cover with Reflectix, because these are in the slide, and they are the most heat zapping windows during the winter, so we wanted to make sure we cover them. So
yeah, and you know, a lot of people will put Reflectix in their cabinets, on their exterior walls to keep the heat and the cool in the rig.
Yeah, depending on what time of year
but
it is.
You know, when we RV, even in the wintertime, we're typically not in those colder climate. And if you're set up in a spot, you're going to be there a while. There's different things you can do to make skirting and keep the underneath of your RV toasty. But We don't do that, so we're not going to talk about that.
No.
There's plenty of other videos out there with people who'll show you their tips and tricks.
Yes.
Now let's talk about some safety aspects.
Okay.
So, obviously in the wintertime, you're going to be using more propane.
A lot
so
more propane.
You want to make sure that you're checking, well, not checking, but you have a system in place for leaks.
Yes.
Now there's a great product that we use, and that's called GasDoc.
Yeah.
And we did a whole video on that. You can go back and take a look at that. It's a great product.
It really is, and it gives you a little peace of mind to know that if anything happens, if there's a leak, it's going to stop the gas flow, and you're not going to have issues from that.
Every year you see videos and pictures of RVs on fire, or driving down the road, but they forgot to turn off their propane.
Or they leave it on purposefully for their fridge because they have a propane fridge and they got to keep their food cold.
Yeah.
Which I totally understand. I would be worried about something like that.
The GasDoc detects any extra flow, any leaks where propane is just running.
Yeah.
And it shuts off right there at the site. Yeah. So it's definitely a great safety feature. We know that having it for us is definitely beneficial.
Yes.
Another thing that we really didn't think about using, but we had it in place, was last year when we were in Tampa. We were in a weird situation where generators were all around us. We came back one day and we had alarms going off like crazy. So we use a smoke detector combination carbon monoxide detector, and we just have one that you can buy at any hardware store. We just keep it with us, so make sure you keep your batteries checked. Yes,
all the time. And that's not to say that it didn't already have a smoke detector and a carbon monoxide detector. We do. All the RVs come with those.
Yep.
They will detect gas, and then they have a separate smoke detector. We have a redundancy.
Yep.
By having this one, and I can put it wherever I want to in here because we don't have it stuck to the wall or ceiling or anything like that. But I want redundancies in case something, one of the others goes wrong. This one will work, and we did find out last year that it does work perfectly well, and it's extremely loud. It's worse than the one that's actually integrated into the RV.
I think we have a clip of it going off, don't we?
Yes.
As you can tell, now the carbon monoxide detector is going crazy. We had to take one out of the rig. The air outside is almost it is toxic because the carbon monoxide detector is going crazy because all the generators are going. The gas detector that comes with your rig, we know that ours works, but one thing you have to keep in mind is that they do have an expiration date.
Yeah, I've heard that it's usually 4 to 5 years. You should really just go ahead and change them out or have them changed out because they can stop working. And when they do stop working, they can get really annoying because they'll beep at you and stuff like that. So yeah, we are kind of on the cusp of needing to change it out soon.
Yeah, I mean, we're 3 years into this rig. We've already set off the detector once.
Yeah,
so
it worked.
Luckily, we had a company reach out, GasDoc, and they're providing us with a new gas detector. So I'm going to show you a quick installation. It's literally 2 wires and we're done of this GasDoc, and then we'll test it out, see it works, and hopefully all goes well. Alright, so I just got the GasDoc gas detector installed, and it's really simple. Literally 2 wires. You unscrew your old one out, take off the 2 wires, plug in the new wires, and remount it. Couple of things that I did notice is make sure you have long enough screws for the new mounting bracket. I needed a little bit longer than what it came with, not a big deal. And also, when the unit first powers up, it's loud. It's sucking in air to test it and calibrate it. And I thought, oh no, this thing's going to be really loud. But once it calibrated itself, it's quiet just like the other one. And easy peasy. So we'll let you know our thoughts along the way if we have any issues with the system. But so far, simple install, powers up, does what it's supposed to. So thanks, GasDoc. So last but certainly not least of our tips is your RV comes with a
fire extinguisher. Just one though. Most RVs just come with one, and it's usually by your front door. And
it's not big.
No, they're tiny. Yeah. The ones that come, at least with the, you know, lower end trailers, they're very small. They're like this. So yeah, we have 2 others within our rig. We have one back in our bedroom, just right inside the doorway, and it's like stuck to the wall with command strips so it doesn't move, so it rides there. It hadn't fallen off yet. We do have a second one that we bought, and it travels in the cabinet so it doesn't fall down. But when we get set up somewhere, I'll pull it out of the cabinet and either set it on the vanity in the bathroom, or I'll set it in the corner in the bathroom. That way we have one on each side of the rig and one right in the middle of the rig by the front door, so we're covered if in the case of any sort of fire. Hopefully that never happens. But.
Yeah, and dealing with RV fires, the fire extinguisher is to get you out of the RV.
Yes.
These things go up fast.
Yeah.
So
especially if they're a wood frame on the inside and everything, yeah, they'll go up pretty quickly.
Yeah, having extra fire extinguishers in your rig and in your tow vehicle, if you have a tow vehicle, you know, that way you feel you have a little bit more peace of mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing a lot of winter RV users use is a heated water hose. Mm-hmm. We don't personally own one. We've heard mixed reviews.
Yeah.
So we're not going to say anything about that. The product is available, and do your own research if you want.
Yeah, there's the heated hoses. There's heat tape that you can wrap your hose with. We don't have any experience with those. We just know that if they're going to shut the water off at a park, or if we just know that there's going to be a deep freeze while we're camping, we just fill the tank, unhook, put the hose away. That way we don't have to worry about it.
If you know that you're going to be camping in some weather, if you don't have tank heaters, it's always a good idea to have some RV antifreeze with you if you're going to be camping in cold weather.
Yes.
That way it's just another peace of mind that you have it.
Yeah, you're not going to want to cycle through the whole system while you're camping, but you might want to put, you know, half a gallon down each of your gray and your black tanks. That way it keeps it from freezing, because that would be bad if that froze up too. So that's something to think about.
Yeah, we don't have tank heaters, so that's something, you know, that we have to think of when we're camping in wintertime. And we don't really worry about that too much. And another thing you can do, in addition to, you know, the antifreeze part of it, when you're camping, if it goes below freezing, open up your cabinet doors where your pipes are, in your bathroom, in your kitchen, whatever. It will help get that warm air in there, and you won't have that issue, because sometimes it can trap cold air in there just like it traps warm air in there. You know, you don't really think about it, but until you go to open the cabinet and you're like hit with really, really cold air. Open all those cabinet doors. If you got a little space here, you can pop it right in front just to keep it warmed up. Guys, if you found any of this information beneficial to you, we would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to our page.
Yeah, let us know if you've got tips for camping in the cold.
Yeah, do you have a certain procedure that you go through when you winter camp? Have you ever winter camped? Does it scare you to winter camp? I mean, there's a lot of people that, you know, come October, they're shutting their rig down, they're storing it away.
Yeah.
But even in storage, you got to keep in mind, if you haven't blown out your water lines, you still have water that can freeze.
Yeah, if you're in storage, you want this stuff in your lines, in your tanks, because you don't want those things to break.
Guys, that's all we have for you today. We appreciate your time, and until next time,
we will see you out there.
We'll see you out there.
Bye.
Bye-bye.